Welcome, wonderful souls. I'm Margot Zen, quantum soul guidance and galactic astrology practitioner. And since few months, I'm also practicing a hypnosis with a wonderful soul, Jodi, who is showing me the ropes. And today, I'll share with you a session, our latest session, where Jodi connected with fairy Pixie, and I believe it's Jodi's soul aspect from another incarnation. The main theme of the session is the upcoming Lion's Gate portal, which is extremely powerful and potent this year because it's marked with a 888. Since the 2024 also adds up to 8. Apart from Pixie, we also connected to 8 monks and Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I still don't know much about because I never watched Star Wars. Anyhow, the information that came through is teaching us more about the grand opportunity to choose a different state of being that Lionsgate's portal brings, and what number 8 symbolizes, and many, many more. So please share with anyone and everyone that you think will benefit from this information. Without further ado, let's move on to this profound conversation. Namaste.
I'm in this pyramid it's still the pyramid of white light, but it's also a crystal pyramid, like that you play music and it can spin. And I'm inside laying. Well, I was inside laying as I am right now, but my body was just an energy body, and I had white linen on, like very sheer. I don't even want to say linen. It was so light and just flowy. And then I stretched a little bit and my body was starting to like show a little. And I was in this pyramid at the Louvre, one going up, one going down. And right as you said, go to the most beautiful place, my body got up and turned. And so I was kind of like levitating like this, as if on a table, and my body turned. And now my feet or her feet are dangling over and just looking at me.
The feet are looking at you.
The whole body, but is facing to look at me.
I see
Like
now.
I'm seeing, like merging together.
Is there anything else you can see around you or her?
It's like now that part of the triangle, or it's a triangle in the front now. She's sitting on it as if it were like a swing, and her hands are there, and her leg is crossed and is just looking like a fairy. She's like a fairy. an ethereal fairy looking at me.
An ethereal
And in the
fairy
background,
looking at
it's
you.
just looks like the universe and kind of stars and kind of dark, but in the front, it's just lit up.
Amazing.
And it's like swinging. Now she's like kind of swinging and holding the sides now, like a swing.
Can you feel anything? Any wind or breeze on your skin?
It just feels weightless.
Wonderful state to be in.
And now she's like dancing very slowly, but kind of like just stretching, like putting on a show. So now it's like a kind of a stage. Very much ballet, dancing, smooth and soft movements. It's like no one is watching her, but she's on the stage.
But you.
You're on this show.
Yeah. Shall we talk to her then?
I almost don't want to disturb her.
Okay. So
But
let's
I'll
wait a
just wait
little.
until she's ready.
That's right. In the meantime, you can keep looking around. If there is anything else that brings your attention, grabs your attention.
Yeah, so she just kneeled and, did this, like the ending of the show, and is going like this, almost like backstage, wants me to look backstage.
Let's
So
get
it's me,
closer to her.
her, and then she's going like this. Very graceful.
Very graceful. I can imagine. So, can you get closer to her right now and try to talk to her?
Mm.
Or you ask if she wants to talk to us?
She says, I show you with my movements. So now it's actually a stage, like this big gala with the lights in front of the stage, and she it's just her and me coming in, and I'm like at the bottom below her, and she's like this like Peter Pan fairy now, kind of, and looking down at me like this, very
Inviting
curious
you.
about me. Yeah. A sprite. A sprite is the word, where asking me to be more, showing me how to be more fluid and graceful. In
That
my
sounds
everyday life, and not just when I'm offering healings to others.
I see. That's very valuable lesson, yes. Let's try to now ask her if she can tell us anything about upcoming Lionsgate. Is this 888 alignment going to bring as many changes as we think?
Yeah, she just, once I got that message and understood it, she turned into a ballerina and just started spinning really, really, really fast off the stage.
She disappeared or she's coming back?
But the whole motion was spinning fast, and it feels very much like whatever will happen involves wind and spinning. In the beginning of the session, when I saw a bird and trees, the tree was bending back and the wind was literally bending it all the way.
Very powerful wind.
Yes.
Do you think that it means that the powerful energies will be involved in this Lionsgate?
Yes.
Are we perhaps in the time of revelation?
Not in the way we think, but yes.
Can you tell me a little bit more? What way then?
I'm getting, it is time to clear. It is time to clear. And I'm seeing clouds and storms, like kind of, you know, when they come in and it's very ominous, like, ooh, all of a sudden it gets dark. So I see a city below me, below the clouds. I'm like up with the clouds right now. And I just heard world stage. So I was thinking, how did I get into these clouds? They like moved off the stage and became clouds. And they're over this city. Not any particular city, just a city.
Is there anything happening now? The clouds are moving away or they're staying there?
They're just staying there, really thick. And I'm trying to look down. It's like a regular day, but everything is gray. And I'm not seeing any lights. Just what's standing out to me is it's not windy, everything is still, and it's like these clouds come over. But I'm not feeling the wind or lights or electricity or cars. I'm seeing just the tops. So maybe I need to float down a little bit more, but
let's first look around. When you're still above the clouds, is there anything else or anyone else there with you?
it feels very much like I am one with the cloud and this is where I'm supposed to stay
I see.
as the cloud, like this is the storm.
So let's stay there and observe.
And I see I don't know. What these are called, but it's got a blue light flashing. Maybe near airports you see it. It's really tall
Mm-hmm.
and it sends out signals, but it's just tall structure
Like a
that
tower.
has lights blinking to show airplanes like where to go. That's the only transmitter. I'm hearing transmitter.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing in this scene that is colorful or moving.
Can you get closer to the transmitter then?
And there's red and there's blue lights way up at the top.
When you get closer, look around. Anything else grabs your attention?
So there's a ball now on top, like, so it's like tall and there's like a ball and then another thing. It's an antenna type thing with blue and the ballerina, the waif or the pixie came back and is on there kind of showing this to me and is going like this to look around.
I had a feeling she will be back.
And it feels like I've seen this ball before or this structure before. But I don't know what it is yet. But it feels very familiar in the world. Like a world symbol.
So you said it's a transmitter, or is it a receiver?
Both. I'm getting both.
Right. Can you focus on the transmission then? Maybe you can pick it up.
Yeah, I'm getting the word pulse, and it's like it bounces off of things. This frequency bounces off of things. I don't know much about science, I'm sorry, or antennas or, but that's what
That's all
they're
right.
giving me.
No problem at all. Perhaps Pixie. Can we call her Pixie? Is she happy with that
Yeah.
name? Yeah, Pixie,
Yeah.
wonderful. Thank you. So let's ask Pixie, maybe she can help you with deciphering this transmission a bit more.
I'm getting that it has to do, I'm getting the word Cincinnati, and I'm getting Cincinnati, and that this is a well-known thing. I just don't know it. It's like a totem.
Perhaps would be a symbol for a city or a corporation, a logo type,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, it's comparable to like some fancy cars where they have the things in the front on the hood and in the front. Something
All
like that.
right.
But this
Okay.
is big and it sends out and receives messages. Solar messages.
Solar messages.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let's try to tune to those messages a bit more. What is that transmission about?
I can't really tell.
No problem. Perhaps if you follow the signal, can you travel to the sun?
Yeah, so now she's pointing for me to go up there. So like I'm gonna go up and then out. So they're bouncing from the ground to the top. Okay, so it's a satellite signal. I'm seeing now a satellite. I think it's a satellite. It's in space.
Makes sense, yes.
Yeah.
So follow the pixie and follow the signal.
Well, she just sent me and has her.
And you are with the satellite now.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. And it's like I could take the satellite and like throw it. I don't know why they're showing me that, but like I'm Superman or something, or some super force could just move.
You are that powerful.
Or a powerful force that moves the satellite. Like energy comes in and moves a satellite.
Is that somehow linked to Lion's Gate? This powerful energy?
I think so. Whatever it is, there's a lot of wind and force involved. And it doesn't seem that I'm supposed to be looking at the earth and it's not man-made. It's powers and force I'm hearing to be reckoned with. To be reckoned with.
Is the satellite the not man-made?
The satellite is man-made, but talking about the force that
All
moved.
right. Mm-hmm.
I think what they're telling me is this storm that created this cloud and this dark city.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's just dark, not black, but gray, because there's clouds all over. It is not something humans did to humans, although that might be part of it. It's more Mother Nature on a cosmic, our universal scale, not more than just wind, hurricane, tornado, like a very powerful, swift wind force.
Is this force perhaps a solar wind?
I don't know what a solar wind is.
It's like a solar flare, or is it coming outside of our solar system?
We have to call the Pixie back in
Mm-hmm.
and ask her to show me.
Yes, let's do that.
Whatever it is from the celestial realm, a light of consciousness and completion. And I'm being, it's being brought to my awareness that I'm hearing the church bells. And that this phase in our evolution I keep getting that people never thought would come, or we thought that we knew everything, that we could control everything.
Mm-hmm.
And we are not as in control as we think. That this force that is clearing, cleansing, and cleaning the planet will help us along. And while it brings darkness, we will realize that in each other is the light. We will find our own light and our own path. As light beings, the ones who have the light will be popping up and be activated. And show the way. Get things moving again. after the stillness. It's like everyone is in this cocoon. Yeah. And is like inside. And then doors start opening and people start coming out of their houses, like surveying the damage and seeing who's okay and who isn't. And little lights are popping up as people. People are the light.
Mm-hmm.
And something about it being morning time, like people waking up. I think that's double meaning, waking up and literally waking up, metaphorically and literally
Mm-hmm.
opening the doors, seeing what the new day will bring. The pace will slow. There's no rush anymore to get to work or to get here or there. I keep hearing the word stasis, like homeostasis, getting back into our bodies. Rooting, rooting. Getting back to our roots. Connecting with people, not things. Healing through the heart. Healing humanity. And now the fairy is going like this.
Mm.
The fae.
She's presenting it to you. Look. Is that
Yeah.
right? Mm.
Yeah. Like this has always been here for you. This abundance
Mm-hmm.
that was overlooked until now.
This state of being.
Yeah. And so now she's okay. So now we are going through like her garden.
Mm.
And it's like all of these flowers are popping up and there's an arbor. And she's like shh, shh, going through the arbor and she's flying. And I'm following her.
You're flying too?
Well, I'm supposed to be following her. So I can't really see myself, but I see her and I'm following. And we're in a greenhouse, a wind tunnel.
Mm-hmm. But while you're moving, do you have a sense? Are you walking? Are you running? Or perhaps levitating as flying?
So the arbor was the entryway into this big, long greenhouse where there are on each side. There's hanging plants, there's plants on the bottom, then there's tables on each side. And we're growing food. So inside is like utilitarian, they're saying utilitarian on the inside, but it's covered with all like vines and flowers is the scene.
Magical.
And she's like, you could have this. You can have this. Mm.
And she's still showing it to you, or she's talking to you now?
So now she's showing me her watch. She's going like this. There's really no watch, but that's what that means.
Time.
Something about this. I don't know if you can see.
Yes, yes. Time. Time is up.
I don't know. I'll have to see. Why are you doing that? The time has come. The time has come.
And is that the time of the Lion's Gate? Can she confirm that?
Yeah, she's doing now.
8.
Yeah.
Infinity symbols. 8.
Like she's flying with her wand. Now she's got a wand going like this and flying at the same time, like Disney or something. Like Disney with the wand, right? Like, it's and the background is all your colors, like purple and blue, and not necessarily a butterfly, but like really pretty. She seems to know you. And she's going,
Oh, I had a feeling I know her. Yes.
yeah. She says, I've been here before.
Is there anything else she wants to show you or tell you?
And now I got the image of, again, like, so the Disney was the, the wand and whatever doing 8-8, and then they just saw the lion at the end of movies or beginning of movies,
Oh, yes.
like, and going, whatever. Yeah, it just showed me that.
I mean, that just screams Lionsgate to me.
Yeah. And the beginning and the end of the movie.
Okay, so it's like the beginning
I mean,
and
there's
the
so many
end.
references about the stage and yeah.
It's like the time has come. The
For this to
chapter.
play out. Yeah, these scenes, like movie scenes, the reels.
Yeah, the one in the cinema, right? How they basically
Yeah.
cast the movie on the screen with. I've got
Yeah.
that image. Interesting. Interesting. Perhaps Ask Pixie if there is anything else she wants to tell you or show you, tell us about, or maybe she can bring you to someone else.
So we're back at the stage and she's picking up and saying the show is over. It's time to clean up.
It's time to clean up.
Yeah, and I'm just like I'm not close to the stage anymore to talk to her. I'm just watching her like kind of clean up, go and pick up things on the
The show
stage.
is over.
Yeah. The curtains are closed. But it's not sad. There's no sad or doom or gloom. It's just the curtains closed. She's picking up things. She's not dancing anymore, but she's also very much in a sense of gentle flow and ease while she's cleaning up, like just it's part of the whole thing is now it's time for the cleanup. This is what we do.
Natural cycle, you might say.
Yes.
And
We are more familiar with this metaphor of an image of a show entertainment than we are the natural cycles of Earth and where we live.
I see. That's why she's showing you the stage and portraying this way. So you would say you can now translate it as in a natural cycle of the cosmos, universe part, right? This is the part of the natural cycle.
Yeah.
So the astronomical alignments on the 888 is just a part of it, and this is the time. The show is over, the time to clean up and change the scenery.
Yeah, and they're giving me a message of very much like, what did you do on the stage? What role did you play? And now you're coming out of those roles and you're able to, they're saying the given roles. This is a time that you can transform. You have the choice to transform or to stay in your role. And that people will see their play reflected back at them as if they're just watching. And then they can decide what to do with that reflection that they are seeing. And they're showing me the 2 8s are reflecting. Yeah.
The 2 8s, you said, right?
The 2 infinity symbols are like looking at each other.
Okay.
And that is what this portal is all about. The portal of what role you're playing. And if you want to leap, like now, like, I don't know if this is time travel or like timeline jumping, but now, so the 2 8s are like this, 8 on top, swirl on the bottom. And now they're making another 8 going this way, like looping and weaving. And it's like all of these eights are just weaving in, weaving out, and you can expand, they're saying, like, and grow out. You don't have to be stuck in that one play, but you must have it reflected first. That's part of, like, if this were a craft, if you were like something with yarn, right? And you're weaving and these eights are yarn, and then you put another one, like first you have to say, okay, what do I want to make? What is my craft? What do I want the outcome to be? And it starts on 8-8, cleansing your ego, cleansing, being able to see in real time a reflection back of your role that you've played, your life in a different way, right in your face. Everyone has to see it. For some, it will be a shield.
For some,
And they
it
will
would be a
block it.
shield, and they will
Yeah,
block the
some will
reflection.
block it and try not to see it. Yeah, I see a shield, like a literal shield being put up. And that is okay too. Some will choose to jump through and experiment and change and not be stuck behind a shield.
So, can we say this kind of reminds me our last session when we talked about some people waking up? Would that be the similar process you're describing, or is it the same process? Some of them will stay asleep, the one that will put up the shield, and those who would wake up to this bigger universal stage, they can realize that they're here playing the roles. They can then examine the role they were playing and choose to stay in that role or perhaps choose a different one. Am I getting it right?
Yes, I'm hearing the word opportunity. Like this is I was going to say huge, but they're saying grand opportunity for people. This is a grand portal of manifestation and change, and they're showing me the shield, that whoever chooses the shield is going to end up cowering behind it and cover themselves with it and just kind of sink away. That there is nowhere left for them to go when everyone else is leaving and part of this new flow state. And we'll all be in a stasis, they're calling it, like whatever this wind is and the clearing, and then we're in like the stasis. And maybe this is individually and collectively. Shut down. That we're all going to be choosing to glide through and learning how to navigate that new way of being, or we will cower and retreat and like it's almost like disintegrate, kind of like, you know how the witch in the Wizard of Oz is like just sinks into the ground, and it's like this, the shield is like over, and picture a shield like a manhole, and they have to go underground, right? And they're closing the manhole.
Mm-hmm.
Just slowly fading out of the picture.
Mm-hmm.
No more playing.
Wow. That sounds grand.
Hmm.
Is Pixie still with you?
Who?
Pixie?
Pixie? Oh, I can call her back. They were just showing me like all these portals. You know, like the manhole is the portal, and then there's like a circus ring that the lions can jump through or tigers can jump, you know.
There, so there are the portals that we can go through and
Yeah,
choose the new role.
huge opportunity to choose. So now I'm in this big circus tent, and there are trapezes and animals, and if you choose to create, this is where the magic happens. And Pixie
Create
is like on top of something, like,
an
oh,
acrobat.
yeah, like on a swing really high up and just like, go, you know,
Having fun.
yeah, she's always up high. She likes it up there.
Yeah.
And then she'll dip down and dip back up. But the people that are drawn to be down will stay down, and the people that are drawn to lighter levity, they're saying levity, will be more accustomed to that lightness of being.
So when you say levity, can you describe it a little bit more for me? What would it entail? You're in the state of levity now, or how to get there in order to
So
then move even higher.
the shedding and the clearing of earth is also shedding and clearing us of the density of all like material things, the things that really we just were able to. Okay, so they're showing me like a I have little kids have a train set, and they're like on their knees and they're playing with a train set, and there's this fake city and a fake railroad thing, and then in the center there are some buildings and whatever. Like, we were kind of weighed down in order to be able to play here, and this is the stage, right? And so there are all these mountains, and there's a railroad, and then cars, and you know, just picture that. We are here to, we're like, I want to do that, you know, like little kids picking,
Yeah.
I'm going to be the conductor, I'm going to go to the store, I'm going to, you know. And we were weighed down in order to play this. Otherwise, it's like, if we weren't weighed down with ego and material things, we wouldn't be able to stay here. We would be up with Pixie and we wouldn't be able to play. But Pixie is showing us what is possible if we can. I guess this is the choice, is if we can, if we choose to release some of that density so that we're able to move freely. And all people have to do is choose. And then it will come. They literally just have to choose telepathically, inwardly, their higher self to connect and to move forward in this way, to take this path.
So when you say they need to choose, literally, there needs to be intention, right?
Yes.
That's what's important, to have the intention, and then they will be able to connect to their higher selves,
They will be
and
shown the way.
they will be shown the way.
Yes.
Wow.
That is a promise. No one will
Wonderful.
be alone and left on the journey. No. I'm seeing like a little kid um at the table and just like I'm staying here. I want all of this. If you guys leave, I can have all of this. And then there's no one left to play with.
Mm.
But he's got his hands and just a regular tantrum. But he's got a suit on and he's a little kid.
Oh, wow, interesting.
Yeah.
A white color.
Yeah.
Wow. Wonderful. That sounds very exciting. And reassuring as well.
Mm. So there'll be ones and there will be eights.
Ones and eights.
Mm-hmm.
And
You
what's
can
the one?
choose. You can
Yes.
choose to not bend, or you can choose to go with the flow.
Oh, wonderful.
That's what this is.
Hmm.
Two very different paths. One choice.
So it's like those trains are now turning away from each other for good.
Yes. You remember.
Oh, yeah. I have the picture of those trains. Yes. Wonderful. Wonderful. And when you say they are showing you, do you know who they are? Do they want to come forward and introduce themselves?
Yeah. So Pixie is back. Okay. And there are 8 monks.
Oh, wow.
And she's like, these are my fathers. And they all have white robes. My father's in heaven, what you know as heaven. And they have their hands in prayer and their heads down so I can't see, but they've got white robes on.
Would they perhaps be our ascended masters?
They all look the same. And they're saying, like, we are at your mercy. You, and this time is our work. we have been here for you the whole time. But now it's time.
Mm.
And now Pixie is like going like this now to us, and she's standing in front. She was the intermediary. These wise ones are still, they're in the stillness, and they're holding us like energetically. They're holding us here. And she is tasked with the showing. The intermediary.
So the white ones, the monks, the wise ones are holding space for us, you said. And
They're just sending us so much love and purity. Like purity isn't judgmental. Purity isn't like without sin. It's not that, just like pure essence. Pure essence of light.
love light.
Yeah, like they are beaming towers of light into us. They are there to help us receive it if we want it.
All right.
Otherwise, it just goes off the shield and gets like recirculated.
So when you say they are here for us, they were here for us all along, you didn't mean only this session, you mean the whole earthly game,
This
let's
whole
say.
experience,
Yes.
this whole
So they're allowing this playground for us to play in, right?
yes. Yes. And it's their role, their job. We don't say job, we say role to anchor and hold that light for the ones that are here. And has always been, but this is more, they're more focused now on like literal towers of light.
Sounds amazing. And the light, can you tell me more about it? Is it white light? Does it have any colors? Can you sense anything?
They're saying pillars. Pillars. Pillars of light. And I got that not long ago in a channeling about pillars. They're saying Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh,
It's like that. Obi-Wan Kenobi,
I did.
Jedi type stuff.
I was just going to say I did heard about it, but I never watched Star Wars, so can't really relate. But when we go back to pillars of light, I think pillar to me also signifies the idea of upholding something, right? Something can rest on the pillar. So this light is literally a support. That's how I'm getting it. Is that right?
We are pillars of light but haven't known it.
We are the
Yes.
light workers.
Yes.
Mm,
That is what we're made of, pillars of light, and they are holding enough, like there are our light batteries.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Anchoring that light for us.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, like we're little light flecks, but our origin is pillar of light, and we've just been spread out like lights jumping around like little fireflies.
All over the earth.
Yeah.
Mm. And if you tune in more into those wise white ones, pillars of light, or the anchors of light, can you sense perhaps they want to let you know more about who they are, as in which realm they're coming from? Is it angelic realm? Is it spirit realm? Or somewhere else?
So now I think this is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Took the thing and is now brown, all in brown. And said, we are warriors of the light. We hold the light. We are human Jedi.
Oh,
And I teach, and whoever wants to learn, this is their opportunity.
all right. Are they perhaps coming to us from a different star system?
Like that is not clear. He is, I think he would teach Luke, right? Like how to, he's the older guy, I think, and is teaching Luke.
Mm-hmm.
And so now he's just moving around doing his stuff.
Okay.
But he doesn't have the robe on anymore. This is like gear, I'm hearing. His gear, his tools to do the work
The rope
as a
is the
human
tools?
Jedi, as opposed to a light keeper.
All right. Okay. Okay. So he's both. He would be a human warrior and a light keeper, the anchor for the light for us,
The pillar, yeah.
the light pillar.
Mhm.
Interesting. Fascinating. So would he come down to earth, let's say? Would an aspect of his soul, for instance, incarnate on earth in order to teach other humans the warrior stuff, let's say?
And also teaching through the movies, teaching through without these movies, without Star Wars, we wouldn't ever believe that it was possible.
Mm-hmm.
So just making that movie and getting it out to the populace at this time, those memories will come back. It won't be just a movie anymore. People are waking up and saying, I feel pretty much stronger than they've always felt. Like they're believing in the possibility of things. So
Right.
they can connect with this archetype
Mm-hmm.
and make it real, like literally living a fantasy. Or they can take up the shield and be stuck.
Mm.
And they don't know that they're stuck. They don't know that, they think I've got the biggest, best shield, or I've got the biggest, now I don't have anyone to, I own the whole railroad track and the whole thing, but you're all by yourself. And that doesn't mean anything. There's
Mm-hmm.
nobody there to play the other roles.
Mm. There are two things that came when you were talking. And the first one was, so those behind the shield is like that would be those who
Resist.
resist and stay with, or
The old
couldn't release the
paradigm.
fear, right? There is a
Mhm.
fear aspect involved there. I sense
Yeah.
no trust,
Rigid.
rigid.
They're so used to being a one. They're so good at being a one that any bend to them feels like enormous injury.
I see now.
And to you and I, we see it as a bend. They see it as a crack. And they feel it.
Wonderful. And another thing is when you were talking about creating the movies, for some time now, I I think it was all my life in my case when I felt, or rather, being creative was fueling me, and it does still. But also, I discovered at some point that it is important to be creative and put your fruits of creativity out there for others
Mm-hmm.
in order for them to be. So it's like the activation, like you said, with the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Does every form of creativity does that, let's say?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And they're showing me a buoy on the ocean. So if somebody is drowning and they can see that buoy, and what does the buoy do? Just floats and goes with the wave. And that's the job. That's the job of a buoy, right?
Yeah.
In the water, to just go with the wave. And that will actually be, the light workers will be an anchoring point, a safety point for others.
So if for all those creatives out there, if they're any in doubt of should they put the next thing out, because let's say there's already so many out there, it's still important they do, right?
They're not doing it for others, they're doing it for themselves. That buoy is just a buoy. that buoy has a soul. The buoy is not going around and trying to scoop up and show off to everyone else. That buoy just stays there and does what it does. Right? So if somebody is a creative and likes to create, then do that. And if you want to share that with the world, then you do that, what feels natural. Anytime you feel like you're hanging on to that buoy and it's sinking down and it doesn't feel good, ask why. Is this just my fear or is it not right? And a lot of people don't know the difference because they're so stuck, right? But am I hanging on to something and I'm going to drown with it? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It does.
Joy is the new wave. Literally, joy is the new wave, and that is going to guide you forward. So, like, if we can look at Pixie and be like, hey, I want to, fly around like that with my little magic wand and draw things and do whatever. I mean, my hands in this session, this is the wave. 8-8 is like, this is the frequency. It's the frequency of flow. That's what's changing. And we're clearing out density, like a huge wind, catalyzing wind, I'm hearing. And so if you want to put stuff out in a way that is best for you.
I see. Thank you. Thank you for that. Just flow with joy.
That's where we're headed. Won't come all at once, but the choice will come.
Wonderful. That sounds really, really, really lovely. I'm looking forward to it. So much so.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else, perhaps that Pixie or the monks or anyone else present that want to show you or share with you, with us?
The monks have their robes on now, and they put one hand on their heart and one out to us, like sending us love.
Thank you for receiving.
Yeah, just sending us so much love. And then Pixie's in front of them again and just is like bowing, kneeling, and is going like this.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah,
Thank you.
like the show is over. You have what you need. We are here.
That's wonderful. All right. So in that case, thank you so much, everyone, for joining our session today.